I had to do a part 2 recording section of this. So where was I? I was talking about student conferences. So I will not be hosting in-class sessions, which means that sometime over Friday or Thursday or Saturday, I will be posting up an email link saying that while you guys do not have to come to class, I will be in the classroom. And if you want to come by for some one-on-one time, I'll be in there. Generally speaking, I will be taking it as a grade, which means that sometime next week, whether in class or online through a Zoom conference or however, I will be able to give everybody time to be able to give yourself about 15 to 20 minutes with me one-on-one, whether virtually or in person, so that we kind of know where you're at, making sure that everything's taken care of, and it will be for a grade, but I will break that down here in a second. As you notice that we haven't really talked much about our narrative essay and our midterm essay. So, because we're not meeting in class next week, I would like both to be turned in on October 24th. Because the midterm essay is very short and it's a mini essay, I feel like the need there is more of you're either able to make it on time or you might need your late pass. But I will have open folders for both of them so that you can have them accomplished on time. Okay? So this is the grading criteria. Again, grading criteria is always talking about what I'm looking at, so selecting details, your argument, your focus, your intro, your conclusion, structure, mechanics, which means errors and everything else. So this in part is just the essay instructions themselves. You can find this right here in the week 8 folder. It is called mini essay instructions. So I'm going to go into the next thing called the art of argument, and I'm going to break down what this means. So let me go into that. Okay. The art of argument. So let me open it up for us. So what is an argumentative essay? Okay, so an argumentative essay takes a stand on an issue. So in this type of essay or review, the writer attempts to persuade readers. So you are persuading me to understand and support your point of view about the topic that you choose and providing evidence for it. So what's included in this type of essay or mini essay is designed to help a student debate and stand for one claim. So while you focus on a claim, it's important to look at the facts and information rather than what you prefer or what you think is a personal idea. So let's look at different elements that can or are included in an argumentative essay. So think of this as other different sections of your pie chart. If you kind of remember, these past couple of weeks, we've been doing the pie chart exercise whenever we break down a topic in a pie chart, and we use different sections that become possible paragraphs. These are other possible paragraphs. Your position. Determine where you stand with that topic and make it consistent. Make a point to express your position and provide evidence throughout. Evidence. Be sure to provide factual information to support your reason or claim. Consider this. If you can't have any proof, then there's no evidence. Another one is counter-argument. This is where you can present other side of the issue. Consider what hasn't been discussed or what we do not know about the topic. So let's look at it this way. Here's a possible topic. Is gun control an effective way to control crime? So if this was my topic that I'm choosing for my argumentative paper, for me to brainstorm, I would have a yes or no column. And we would do this in class if you're in class, but I'm going to show you right here with this video. So we're going to list, or we can list a couple of factors as to why gun control is an effective way to control crime right here. Or we can put no, and we can list several factors. When you do this, you can look at those factors and they themselves can become possible paragraphs. Because this is your own opinion, you're persuading me that I should think about that opinion. And because it's a PDF, I'm not able to write on it, but I want to be able to kind of go into a topic that may or may less help everybody out. So let's do another one. Education should be free for all. Again, so this is a possible topic for my essay. I do not think that this is one of them, but we can consider this one. So I have a yes or no column. So even on a sheet of paper, you can do this so that you can start brainstorming. First, you write your topic. So if this is my possible topic, I'm writing it out. education should be free for all. And so what argumentative essay does is you are taking a stand, yes or no, and you're staying consistent with that stand, and you're using all those factors that become possible paragraphs. So if I think that education should be free for all, yes or no, and I choose which one, and I have to stay with that side. So for example, if I believe that education should be free for all, I believe so because of possible factors. Number one, it helps grow the minds of all people. That could be one of my factors. Two, every country should provide it because of whatever. And three, education should be free for all because it's one of the good liberties that everybody should have access to. If I say that education should not be free for all, then I should have every reason to have 1, 2, or 3 factors that back up my claim. Remember, in an argumentative essay, you are taking a stand, yes or no, and you are siding with it, and you're keeping up with every possible topic, and you're making sure that those topics become possible paragraphs. So let's do another one. Can gamers be considered athletes? So if this was my possible essay topic, I'm writing it up here as I'm brainstorming, and I'm giving you a yes or no, and we can even do this here in a second. Can gamers are they considered athletes? Why or why not? I say yes because they also give out the same amount of time and effort as an athlete does. You are also given scholarships and financial aid whenever you place in competitions, and they use up or exert energy just like an athlete, maybe not physically, but also mentally. Those are kind of like 3 topics that I can consider as possible paragraphs if I chose yes. If I chose no, why would I choose these factors? So if I say that gamers should not be considered athletes, I have to be prepared for looking at why they're not. Some people may argue that they're not because athletes are mostly physical. Do they go and participate and help out with schools and such like that? We always have to consider every factor that could go into this possible topic, and or so how can we back them up? My lens went weird. Another one could be this one. Hunting should be banned globally. Again, I do not think this is one of my topics. I think this is just a topic to brainstorm. But look at it this way. I would always write out my topic. I have a yes or no stand, and I'm going to start brainstorming with like dashes or list. And either side that I go to, I want to make sure that I stay on that side. So hunting should be banned globally. Why or why not? And any type of factor or anything that you think to be true, those could be possible paragraphs. Okay, so I'm going to exit out of this, and I'm going to go to the next thing. This is the art of argument. I just simply broke it down, and I'm going to go into the last thing, the argumentative essay PDF. So this one should have a green screen. I'm going to put it full screen for you guys, and I'm going to break down what this one is. The argumentative essay. The argumentative essay takes a stand, like I said, on an issue. In this type of essay review, the writer, you will persuade readers to understand and support your point of view about a topic by providing evidence. What is an argumentative essay? I've already said that, but let me go into it again. The argumentative essay states the thesis in the introduction. It covers the thesis. It provides a resolution or a conclusion, and it structures ideas in a logical and convincing manner. So these are 6 elements of a good argument. Our thesis should always be clear and cohesive. It should give us a perspective of what we think in the topic. Another one be considered our personal background. Why is this our issue? Why are we interested in it? And why is it important to us? Another one could be historical background. To effectively communicate an argument, a writer should provide the audience with context, resonating or historical facts that you may or may not know about it. Okay, so if there's something good that everyone else doesn't know, maybe that's a good time for you to throw in a fact or two. Another one is some common ground. These are points that are related to the issue, which both sides could agree on. So think of it as this way. As a possible topic, is there something that everybody can share about that topic and what that topic is? Another one is definitions. So say if I'm thinking of a medical topic essay and I bring in terms that not everybody knows. My thing is I may have to break down those terms in simpler words because not everybody knows my vocabulary, which means that you have to explain in broader terms for people that are unknown to those words. A good writer also knows that we should consider different points of views. Consider what others may think and be sure to point that out. So let's look at this. An argument formula, number 1. Our essay will always consider claims, your opinion or your thesis, and reasons or evidence. And we can go into the types of evidence. So evidence could be anything from real life examples, anything that you've seen or know of, stats, authorities, so people that have identified with these things, comparisons, or hypothetical situations that could help us consider our essay topic. So when you're structuring your essay, you always want to make sure that you go into your intro. Remember that our topic or hook sentence captures our reader's attention. We have to have our thesis at the very end of the first paragraph. We go into our body paragraphs. They contain and provide reason. So always a topic sentence, evidence, maybe another piece of evidence, a third piece of evidence, and then go into our conclusion. Provide the audience with a resolution, but it does not repeat the thesis. So this is kind of confusing. But remember, a mini essay could be anything from an intro, body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, and a conclusion. As long as your mini essay is at least a page and a half or at least 2 pages. Doesn't matter how many body paragraphs you have, I should or hope to expect at least an intro, 1 body paragraph, and a conclusion. So let's look at this example. Essay example number 1. Why do you think you're right? A personal story to illustrate. Reason number 2, further reasoning. Maybe consider someone else's point of view, and a conclusion. If you have an intro already, so you have an intro, reason number 1, reason number 2, opposing point of view, and conclusion. That's already 5 paragraphs. Or we can do it this way. Essay example number 2. You have an intro, reason number 1, why you think you're right, an opposing view, reason number 2, why you think you're right, and a conclusion. Again, it's a mini essay, so as long as you have an intro, 1 or 2 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. Mini essays will always be just that. And let me go into the escape button. And you notice that there's only 3 things right here. The reason why there's only 3 things is because I want you to work on this as the midterm grade. There will be something right here that will allow you to go in and drop it in during the next several weeks, but there won't be no journal, there won't be a discussion board, there won't be anything like that, because what I want you to do is as you're working on this or kind of going through this essay, kind of make sure you are where you say you are. Make sure that you're starting off in a Word document. Let me show you. Make sure you're starting off in a Word document. Any day now. If the Word document wants to show up, make sure that you start off with a Word document, and wherever you start saving or writing this essay, make sure that it's always saved with a flash drive, because if you don't have it saved to your personal laptop or personal belonging, you could easily lose all your data. So make sure you open up a Word document. Make sure in this corner, that is where your heading will be. And as you write your heading, I would like a specific title, anything goes. And remember, as you're typing things out, it is double space. So people are asking, how do I get from double space from my heading to everything else? I'm simply typing. That is my heading. my title. Make sure it's something that sticks out. You may or may not keep this as a single space, but I will show you. You're gonna go to paragraph, special. It'll show you first line or hanging, but in this case I want my header to be single space too. I'm pretty sure I did that right. There it is. Okay. Notice that I'm writing, but before I can continue writing, I want to make sure that all my paragraphs are indented. So always know that when you start off a paragraph, use the tab button and it makes your essay. When you go to save it, it will be on there, but there will be a Dropbox for that. There will not be a discussion board or anything like that for progression. So because this is a midterm paper, there won't be a place for you to put a draft if you want me to look at it or for a grade. Because next week is mostly conferences, I will be able to look at them as they are. So because I want the final as the final, this is also a good time for you if you want me to start looking at it, if you want to turn it into me as a draft somewhere between now and the time that we meet again next week for a class conference or a student one-on-one conference. This is a good time for you to start drafting so that if you have any questions, they can be addressed there. Remember, I will not post any journals or discussion boards. There might be something else right here, but it will always be in detail. And if you need me to go over more, I will be glad to.